In 1 Corinthians 15:42, it talks about the magicalness of a seed being planted and growing into a plant. And it's like something supernatural happens. I know there's a scientific explanation and everything for it, but that seed grows into something spectacular. It goes on to talk about how when you compare that to the human life, imagine the physical, a miracle of a baby being born and growing into where it is. And then you take the spiritual side. I think we all can acknowledge there's something beyond just the physical that we see. And if you think about how amazing it is, just the physical that is mortal, what it can do, think about what the spiritual part can do if it is immortal. Those are the kinds I think about a lot lately, especially in the last year and a half. We've had time to really get to know death very well. And when I feel death coming on, Ara and the boys have got to know it better in the last year and a half. There's so much that goes into it. It's very difficult to explain. And if you're outside of that, it'd be real hard to understand, and it can make a disconnect. Sometimes I feel very disconnected with the rest of people that are around me because of that. I feel genuine, just care and support and love. But sometimes I wish I could get people to understand it a little better. And I remember thinking the same thing when I've made really close friends, family with people in my cancer network that moved on from Earth. And they would tell me things and I just couldn't quite understand it. And I wanted to be there for them. And it was just this dynamic. Now that it's kind of fitting in together, it's something maybe I'll work on and writing out or talking about more, but even putting the thoughts together is kind of a difficult one. And a lot of it goes into, you think, oh, the person is going to die even like a slow death. And it's just going to be this sort of black and white, just gradual, steady slope, maybe with a little bumps in it. But it doesn't really work that way. I've heard the insult before, I hope you die a slow death of cancer. No, that's the last thing that anybody wants. And here I am. That's what I've been doing the last year and a half. And been, battling 14 years straight, but I think it's gotten real serious the last year and a half. And kind of these thoughts came together more when we had a meeting with palliative care the other day. I don't know if you can say it went good or bad. It just was. We talked about more on the med side, and not an easy one, especially for Ara to go through something like that. But hey, you got to be prepared for whatever. And it's always in the battle, you got to prepare for the worst and expect the best. We know the best is coming no matter what. We've got that immortal miracle no matter what happens. And we're just going to grind and in the physical and the spiritual, kind of bouncing around tonight. But it does tie into also that it's hard to explain to people where maybe they think like right now this guy's feeling good and he's normal. But I've learned to be able to put my body through a lot of physical stress because that helps me survive longer. Spinning off death business, man, it is an incredible amount of work. It's like being underwater and losing breath and not being able to get up to the top and losing energy, but you still got to push that energy through to get to the top. So I feel like sometimes I'm not able to get back to people or I forget stuff. Probably the last couple of weeks I've been making more little mistakes and things like that. And different weeks have different things depending on what I'm trying to do and push through. The chemos, there's just a lot of variables that go into, but we're always working, we're always grinding. And man, if I don't get back to somebody, or I wish I could have more time to do this stuff. But right now I got to really focus my energy on this battle. We're in a long fight camp right now. And I just appreciate all the support. The words are so helpful. Believe me, thank you. Or let's see, this morning at 3:15, I woke up with probably the worst pain I've ever had for a couple hours. And man, when those hit, and it does feel like, hey, there's not much time left here. And then later on in the day, I was able to break out of it more. Although there's a lot of stuff falling around on me, it's just really, it's tough to explain. Anyways, maybe that gives some sense of it. I'd love to hear more. What do you like to hear on these talks about how long you'd like it to be? I never know. Sometimes if I should go a minute, I just kind of try to listen to what I feel in my heart that God wants me to go on with. And sometimes I don't want to be talking too long, but I love doing these daily talks and I love the encouragement I get back from people. And man, this it makes everything so much sweeter. And I talk about the stuff with my family, and it's been an important part of the whole healthiness part of just fending off this death stuff and the whole dying process. And just because we're in the dying process, it doesn't mean we can't pop out of this, man. We're ready to roll, and we're immortal, we're invincible with God on our side and with the love of people together. I just love that we're in this together. Love you guys. Have the best day ever.